Good morning, students. Welcome to the yet another lecture of virtual classes. We are studying it surface chemistry. In our previous lecture, we discussed it related to the classification of the colloidal particles, in which we saw it that we can classify it into three different ways. One of it was on the basis classification based on the physical state of dispersed phase, dispersed medium. Today we will study the classification of colloids. Force of attraction. We are discussing it related to the force of attraction, that is interaction between dispersed phase and dispersed medium. We are having it as a classification based on force of attraction that is created between dispersed phase and dispersed medium. That is, particularly each and every medium cannot dissolve or cannot form colloidal solution with every dispersed phase. Right? It's like similarly like that of the solutions. In the chapter 2 we studied solutions where we told it polar dissolves polar, non-polar dissolves non-polar. Similarly, for the colloidal particles, we are having it as a dispersion medium different. If the dispersion medium is alcohol, if dispersed medium is alcohol, then they are known as alcohol. If dispersed medium is water, then they are known as aquasol or hydrosol, right, depending upon the medium. Again, when these medium formations are taking place, maybe alcohol or maybe aquasol or hydrosol, they are furtherly classified into two types, like lyophobic, lyophilic. The meaning of the lyophobic and lyophilic is when a dispersion medium is separated from the sol, from the aquasol or alcohol, and it cannot be reformed again, they cannot be mixed again, then they are considered to be as an lyophobic. That means you can say that they are repelling groups. Dispersed phase and dispersed they are repelling each other. Once they mix together, they form colloidal. Again, if I separate them, that means when their dispersed phase dispersed medium are separated, they cannot remix again, they cannot form colloidal solutions again. We consider it as a lyophobic. They repel each other. Here they are attracting each other. Dispersed phase and dispersed medium they attract each other, right? So dispersed phase, dispersed medium are attracting each other. They are considered to be as a lyophilic. Specifically, if we are writing the difference between, they are considered to be as a, we consider as liquid heating. They are considered to be as a liquid loving group, right? You can say that they are irreversible. They are reversible. That means once the medium is separated, if we mix them two again, they remix together and again they form colloidal solution. So they are considered to be as a reversible. They cannot. So they are considered to be as a irreversible. They are quite stable. They are stable. They are unstable. But for them, we don't specifically use the word unstable. We use the word coagulated easily, right? They cannot be coagulated easily. They are quite stable. They cannot be coagulated easily. They are unstable. They can be coagulated easily, right? So dispersed phase, dispersed medium, depending upon the force of attraction, they are also classified as a, particularly in the form of lyophobic, lyophilic, right? So that is your second type of classification. The third type of classification that we classify, that is classification based on the type of particles of dispersed phase. For this particularly, we classify again this type of classification into three types. The first one we consider it as multimolecular colloids, macromolecular colloids and associated colloids. Now, what is multimolecular colloids? When number of particles of atoms or molecules are aggregated together to form particle of colloidal size, that is 1000 nanometer, then such particles are known as right. What does it indicate? What we wrote it, when a number of particles, we are having it as in small dispersion particles are there, number of them, they combine together, they aggregate, they become a bigger particle, but they do not exceed to the size of the colloidal particle. That means from the true solution, the particles get aggregate, that means combines together, they come closer to one another and get converted into colloidal size. They don't become bigger than the colloidal size, that means they do not get converted into suspended particles. Right? When they remain up to colloidal particles, that means having a size up to 1000 nanometer maximum, 1 to 1000 nanometer we consider it as colloidal particles. When they remain within that range, then such particles are considered to be as a multimolecular colloids. Right? Now, for them, example, gold soul. Right? What the gold soul? That means what? We know it that gold gets electroplated onto the silver or other particles. Right? Ornaments are there which are gold plated. Now during that case, the particles are very small in size in the solution. They get absorbed onto these silver ornaments, right? And they aggregate themselves into a smaller particle of a size of 1000 nanometers, and they are electroplated. So, for example, we write it as gold soul. Similarly, sulfur soul, that is number of sulfur molecules forming it as an acid molecules. We consider them as an multimolecular colloids. The second one we are having it. Macromolecular colloids. Now again it's a type of the solution that is formed when a solution is formed by mixing solute, that is dissolving solute in solvent. The particles in the solution are in the range of the size of the particles in the solution are in the range of colloidal particles. Then such solutions are known as macromolecules. That means we can give it as a natural examples like starch. When you take a starch and add it into the water, they form a solution, starch solution. But it's not a completely true solution. It's neither completely a suspended solution. Right? We can see that the starch solution becomes milky in nature. Such solutions are known as macromolecules. Similarly, cellulose, proteins that are natural. You can give it as an examples as natural examples are starch, cellulose, proteins, etc. Why? You can say that man-made they are polymers like polythene, polypropylene, polystyrene, etc. Polymers are considered to be as a macromolecules of colloidal size that are artificially prepared, right? Natural prepared that are starch cellulose. Okay, that is the second type. Third type that we get it, that is related to the associated colloids. The third type of an example we are having it, that is associated colloids. What are the associated colloids? These are the substances which at low concentration at a low, they behave as a normal electrolytes, strong electrolytes. They can absorb many things in it. They can dissolve it. They behave as a strong electrolyte. But at higher concentration, when the concentration of these compounds are increased, then they exhibit due to aggregation of particles forming of colloidal sites. They are formed at low concentration. They are simply as an electrolyte, but when the concentration increases, these particles come closer to one another, they aggregate themselves and gets converted into a colloidal sites, and such particles are known as associated colloids. If we go it for an example, soap, it when combines with a dirt grease, suppose we are having it as a dirt grease, then they combine with it 100 of such particles, they combine like this, right? This whole particle, when number of molecules, this is actually dirt or grease, dirt, this is your soap, right? Then when such type of hundreds of soap particles that get around the dirt particles and combine together and they get converted into a colloidal sized particle, then such compounds are considered to be as a associated colloids. Specifically when the soap formation takes place, they are known as micelles. They are known as micelles, right? This micelle formation takes place at specific temperature. The temperature at which micelle formation, in place of micelle, you can say that this is a particularly example that we wrote it. If you can say that the temperature at which associated colloids colloid formation takes place is known as Kraft temperature. The temperature at which these associated colloids that are formed, the temperature is known as Kraft temperature, right? And the concentration at which associated colloids are formed is known as critical micelle concentration, right? The temperature at which it forms, Kraft temperature. The concentration at which it forms, it is known as critical micelle concentration, right? Is it clear? that is related to the associated colloids or the classification of the colloids. In our next lecture, we will be discussing it related to the how to prepare this type of colloids. Till then, thank you.